the amazing, incredible, wild, and master buyer's agent, Cortney Bowen. We are now interviewing you. Tell our listeners a little bit of how you became a buyer's agent.
Funny story, I actually...
Sorry.
Cue for laughter. I actually never wanted to get into property. I grew up surrounded by real estate agents. I come from a line of developers and estate agents. My grandfather and my great uncle built a resort up in Coffs Harbour, and my folks ended up buying the resort, restructuring it into management rights, setting up a portfolio or a pool of properties within that resort and managing it. So I spent most of my upbringing in a resort.
You know when they say opposites attract? I mean, your journey, living in a resort, and here I am, like, freaking homeless.
Basically, I never thought I'd get into property. I had a stint in London, came back, and I fell into property. I got a job working at a real estate agency in Double Bay. And from there, I then moved across to Sotheby's, which is where I started to really understand the sales environment. Coming back to how I got into buying, I actually got approached by another agency, a buyer's agency in the East. I'd never thought about becoming a buyer's agent. We weren't common. It was, people were still like, what's a buyer's agent? What do they do? Now it's like, which buyer's agent do I choose? I actually had a client that I was helping. She said, Court, you have to become a buyer's agent. She used a buyer's agent. I called her up and I was like, what do I do? She's like, you know what, Court, if you don't love it, you can always go back to sales. And with that...
Here you are. What does a buyer's agent, what do we do?
Apart from help you achieve your property dreams, I think the main things, if you are thinking about engaging a buyer's agent and understanding what we actually do, is we save you time, we accelerate the process, we help you build wealth through property, we save you money. How we do that, I mean, for us, we're vetting every property available to our clients in the market, knowing everything that's available to our clients within their budget and brief. We then go, okay, these are the best, let's call it 5 or 6, get them through and go, okay, from here, which ones do you want to proceed with DD on? And then from that, we then go, okay, this is the one that we're going to proceed on, knowing that our clients know at that point that they've seen everything. And then obviously we're professional negotiators, as you say. Like, we've been doing this a long time. We understand what properties are worth. We then go in there and go, okay, this is what we're prepared to pay on opportunity.
What are the myths or misconceptions do you encounter when it comes to buying?
Okay, so I mean, there's many, but I think a big thing is that a lot of buyers think that every agent operates the same way. Yeah. And it's just not the truth, like, we have been doing this long enough that we understand which agents run everything to auction. We understand which agents are happy to deal prior, which ones are happy to do an off-market sale, even down to the negotiation, whether they are okay with getting into a Dutch auction or they require best and final. So by understanding who you're negotiating against, it's like basically the best protection you can have, because you can then get your tools, your armor, if you like, to go, okay, this is how we're going to negotiate.
How are you helping your clients in the search process, and what are you considering when suggesting potential homes?
Firstly, understanding their wants and needs, so really getting clear on what the brief looks like. So, in the initial meeting that I have with my clients, it's like, okay, what does the dream look like? And then I work back from there. I mean, there is no 10 out of 10 property, doesn't matter how big or small your budget is. You are going to have to make compromises. But I want to be able to realize as many of those non-negotiables as I possibly can. Ascertain what the brief looks like. I then go to market. I'll target all of the agents that I think might have suitable opportunities. I'll hit the phones and start to unearth those opportunities. When I'm considering property for the clients, I go, does this tick at least 6 to 7 out of 10 of the boxes? So what is most important for my clients? I was born deaf, so I've had to lean heavily into my other senses. So oftentimes I always say to a client, look, it's really not until I start to see property through your eyes that I'm going to really be able to determine what are your non-negotiables. It's one thing to tell me, but show me.
Do you think resale value is an important factor, and what influences that?
Yeah. Look, you definitely want to think about what would the property, if it was to come to market tomorrow, would you get a return on that investment? We are all about helping our clients build wealth, whether it's just through natural capital growth or whether, you know, they're forcing that growth through renovating and getting two bites of the cherry. I think it's also knowing your timelines for how long you're going to hold on to that asset. It's really important. Like if you're only planning to hold this for 3 years, then yeah, price, you really need to consider price, because depending on where you're at in that real estate cycle of securing the property, you know, could determine what you effectively are going to get on the other side. Think about who the buyer is going to be on the other side, and also like think about, you know, location. Blue chip suburbs are always going to be desirable, so look at what's going to be desirable for people. Blue chip locations, box ticking properties.
How important is market knowledge, and what should buyers know about the current market that we're in?
Market knowledge, in my opinion, is key, because there's no point in going to push forward on a property and not knowing what the comparable sales are surrounding it. We would lean heavily into recent sales or comparable property results in order to formulate our price research. So it's really imperative for anyone looking to purchase that they understand the market they're buying in. In Sydney, because not every property is cut the same way, or often not, you know, high side of a street might fetch a premium versus low side. It can be hard to price property, or if you're specializing in like the trophy home space and you've got such a unicorn of an offering and there's really no comparable sales. You know, it's hard, but just knowing what's trading around you will help you then be able to determine what you're prepared to spend on the property that you're looking to purchase. What people should be aware of is that there are more opportunities available to them. They've just got to basically get the key and unlock those doors.
What tips do you have for a buyer who doesn't have a buyer's agent when it comes to negotiating on a property?
Asking the right questions, understanding the reasons behind the sale, understanding what the property's worth. Also not fighting with the agent in order to get the result, because they're going to be more open to being transparent with you if you work with them oftentimes. Ask how the agent's going to handle multiple offers, if the property needs to go to auction, what the requirements are for them in selling the property, and then you can go, okay, well, I know that if I put in a pre-auction offer that there potentially could be other buyers that do the same, so it could get into, you know, a Dutch auction scenario, or this one has to run to auction, so this is going to be my strategy for the floor.
So very last question, what advice do you have for buyers that are looking for long-term success?
In property?
No, in dating.
Well, I'm going to tell you a wild story. So this is the off topic, but I had a client before he came on board with me literally asked me if we could do a personality test, which just goes to show like it truly is a trusted relationship, and clients have to feel like they genuinely trust you to be able, you know, for you to be able to go on that journey with them. In terms of advice for anyone looking to purchase, I would say understand the market, know what properties are worth, because oftentimes, you know, buyers look at guides and they're not a true reflection of what the property is actually worth. They're not indicative of that. So, and competition inflates price. So just knowing what things are worth, having your team around you, be it a buyer's agent, great conveyancer. I mean, oftentimes we get strong results because our conveyancers can literally turn around contract reviews in a matter of minutes.
Honestly, Louise Cohen from Cohen Conveyancing, plug. Amazing.
And
After
Nikki
hours.
Stein.
Nikki Stein. Oh,
Plug.
love them. Absolutely love them for us and our clients.
They're the difference oftentimes between us getting a property or not getting a property. So, you know, we're super grateful for that, but that's really important. And also having a good broker, someone that's dynamic, understands your wants and needs, focuses on structure as much as rate, I think is a big thing.
Absolutely. Thank you for answering all those questions.
And that is a wrap.